Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 15 Good Minutes. On that note, Sir Charles, how you doing, buddy?
Doing fantastic.
Good
Wonderful
to see you. LB, what's up, man?
Good evening, gentlemen.
Freddie, how you doing, man?
Well, I was just looking at some early election day stuff prior to joining, so so it's gonna be a long night, long couple of days to be honest with you. But
I'm not looking at nothing before tomorrow.
Me either. Nope.
Not gonna do it.
I'll see you in the morning.
Right. So if we want to give some people something else to watch, welcome, because this is the spot for you. Last week we were kind of focused on the AFC East. I'm going NFC East today. I've seen a lot of news over the last couple of days about the Dallas Cowboys. Now, disclaimer, I've never liked them. Don't like them today. Haven't liked them ever. I don't want anyone to think this is a bashing session, but I see something happening there enough to say I think we should talk about it. So I'm gonna start with you, LB.
Right?
I've seen.
You're okay. I'm just making sure. Okay, carry on.
LB, what are you seeing with them? And from where you sit, is it par for the course? Is where you thought they were going to be? Are they deteriorating from within? I'm trying to find out how the quote unquote America's team can be so bad and pathetic looking at this point in the season.
All right. First, I'm gonna have a disclaimer as well. Out of all the teams in professional sports, the one I hate the most is the Dallas Cowboys. So we can start with that.
Love the disclaimers.
So I think the Dallas Cowboy problem is similar to what Washington had for so many years. It starts with the owner, Jerry. I think to his detriment, when they won early with Jimmy Johnson, that gave him, the confidence that he was a GM and he knew what was going on. And and obviously he hasn't done anything since. I found out some things today that I didn't know. I didn't know that Dak was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. that CeeDee Lamb, I think, he's either number one or number two highest paid receiver in the NFL. So all of Dallas cap space is in two players. They have very little room for bringing in anybody or making any kind of deals. So all that to say is, I think the Cowboys' problems start and end with Jerry Jones. If he could step back or step away and just be an owner and and I put in air quotes, real football people run the organization, they might be better. But honestly, I hope he doesn't, because if he doesn't, that gives us more to laugh. It makes the Cowboys irrelevant, which to me is a good thing.
It sounds like a winner. Freddie, two things from your perspective. I mean, you live in that town, and I think you and I talked once before, and you gave me a really good analogy when you said basically that, and it really weren't taking shots, but you were basically saying that their fans live in some type of cloud space no matter what. They seem to think that, this team is the team. So from you, what's it like in the area? And then from the football coach in you, what's wrong with them?
It's a mixed bag, to be honest with you. In the community, it's mixed. Some people are very optimistic, and some people are just like, we trash. So it's a mixed bag, depends on where you go. I personally, I'm indifferent either way. I don't hate them, I don't love them, but I do. The cool part of just watching it is nauseating. But I think the issue with the Cowboys, I don't think Jerry, obviously to Lawrence's point, it starts with the owner, and I don't think he's really concerned with winning a Super Bowl. I think he's more so concerned with the business aspect of promoting the brand and everything like that, making money, because people are going to keep showing up, packing that stadium out. People are going to wear the star week in and week out. They're going to continue to have events there. and stuff like that. And just as I was saying last week, until people, the fans stop showing up and supporting that filth, then he has no incentive to stop.
Charles, you concur? You got a different view? What are you seeing when you watch quote unquote America's team?
They're only America's team to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm with LB. I'm not a Cowboy fan. Almost every Cowboy fan I know, right? They've never been to Texas. they don't, and they've never been to a Cowboy game, right? So the Cowboys today summed up what the Cowboys is about. Their team was already in trouble last year, right? And it's been in trouble for a long time, right? Obviously, it doesn't really matter what you do during the regular season. It's what you really do in the playoffs. And their playoff record has been abysmal since Jimmy Johnson's left. So their trade, they needed a receiver. They needed that last year. So they go out and get Jonathan Mingo. Anybody know who he is?
I think he went to.
He's with Carolina Panthers, right? In 2 years, he's got like under 20 catches for under 500 yards, and they gave up a 4th-round draft pick for him. Right, so this is literally the state of the Cowboys. Right,
who's throwing the ball to him? Who's throwing the ball to him?
Nobody's throwing the ball to him. Okay, nobody's throwing the ball to him. So it's the Cowboys are just, and again, I'm in agreement with it with the panel. It starts with the owner, right? This is a guy that has his own radio show, right? He is always in front of the mic, not the coach, but he's always in front of the mic. And he's proven time and time again that the Cowboys are a good brand as far as making money, but as far as a football team, they're horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the general consensus, and it's interesting that you mentioned people that haven't been there. I've got a quote here I'm going to read to you from somebody who's a big time Dallas Cowboys fan, and to Charles's point, I don't think the boy has ever been in Dallas. I'm fairly certain he hasn't been to a game. I still love him though. He's good. So I'm going to tell you what Vern said. He says 2 words, Jerry Jones. He is GM and celebrity owner determined to run his team into the ground as long as everyone is talking about them. Kind of to your point, Charles. He knows enough about football to be dangerous and ego-filled such that he doesn't need a GM. He says he's cut from the cloth of Steinbrenner, Al Davis types, and as long as he's alive, they're going to be a disappointment. And then he references, New England, Kansas City, organizations and systems that allow you to plug in guys like Kareem Hunt, Hopkins from 2018 and still have success while never, subjugating the management to the wrath, to your point, Charles, and here's my thing. That was the end of Vern's quote. I don't think he's ever been to a game. Here's my thing, though. Don't you think now people who accept the job, like I can't think of the guy's name now. He works for NBC. He does the Sunday night games. The former coach, the current coach. Don't they know when they take these positions what they're getting themselves in for regarding Jerry's going to be the mouthpiece and, you're going to have to, acquiesce to whatever the hell he says. And you're the football mind you, right? But you could see those tensions sometimes between the coach wanting to be able to say something and then players going backdoor, LB, to Jerry because, Jerry's a fanboy. And then to your point, he's got radio shows and whatnot where he's literally undercutting you as the coach. So is it money that makes the coach say to hell with that? I'm going there anyway. Do they really think that they're going to be able to impart their brand on that team?
It's got to be money. I mean, why else would you? Well, you can go for the money and you go for the no state taxes. I mean, why? I mean, I understand. I mean, Dallas is quarter, and again, we keep saying this America's team. So they are, the number one merchandise selling franchise. So if you are a coach and you go there and win, obviously that's great for your resume, but you're handcuffed when you go because of Jerry.
Right out the gate, you're
Off the
handcuffed.
break. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Apparently, I found this out today that when Derrick Henry was out shopping or whatever, was available, Dallas never even contacted him. And he at the time he was open to going to Dallas.
He lives in Dallas. He
Right.
lives in Dallas and trains there.
And they never contacted him.
To the earlier point, Zeke missing meetings, Dak on the sideline in a game, trashing his own team. Mm-hmm. When the team falls apart from within, to me as a coach, that means you've lost the players. I get everything that we're saying about the owner on down, but I don't think, let me rephrase it. There are other programs you wouldn't do that and still be there, right? But again, those are the same programs that the coach has the autonomy to do his job with his staff. But what I'm seeing, at least the stuff I was looking at this morning, it sounds like, they're falling apart from within, to your point, what the players are doing now and the conversations they're having on their own and checking out already. So is that something that is more the coach's fault, the administration's fault, or the owner's fault?
It's who the owner puts in charge.
Of charge of what? You talking about, so you saying McCarthy?
In charge of the team, right? And Jerry Jones, he's only had in his tenure 2 coaches that had strong personalities, and neither one of them there no more. That's Bill Parcells and Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
All right, and those are the 2 ones. Everyone else that was there, Wade Phillips, Jason Garrett, Mike McCarthy, Dave Campo, Chan Gailey, Barry Switzer, all those guys, right, are weak personality coaches, right? He wants individuals that are going to not challenge him, right? And that he is the main focus. That's why Jimmy Johnson's not there, because he had to be the focus. Jimmy was getting too much attention, right?
And Jimmy was winning. Jimmy was winning. He should get the attention.
He said, I can do it better, and I can win, and then I'll get the attention, right?
When Jerry steps down for whatever reason, is it safe to assume that the son takes over and he's going to run it the same way?
I hope somebody. No, I think this way. If Jerry, I shouldn't say it this, but if Jerry dies, right, and has no input into what happens at that point, I think it's a possibility that the next Jones might be smart enough to know that he doesn't know anything, that he needs to hire people who know football and might hire somebody and not think that he can do what his father tried to do.
I think he, Steven or whomever would take over. I think they would.
That's his name, yeah, Steven.
I think they would, kind of step back and cut and collect checks. That's, and have some input here and there. But it's also when you have built up a conglomerate such as that, it's hard to kind of just turn that over to somebody that's not within your network, right?
So again, as a NFC East fan who won another game last weekend, bravo, Cowboys. Keep doing what you're doing. I can say that now because we got all that out the way. I said I wasn't going to trash them. I'm not. I'm uplifting, the Commanders. So good on that. Before we check out, let me see if the guys got something to say. I'm starting with you, LB. You got something to say today, buddy?
I wish I did, but I didn't think of anything ahead of time. Sorry.
Not a problem.
Charles, how about you, man? You got something to say today?
I was so disappointed in. I saw, and I don't know if y'all know this person, Sage Steele. She was on ESPN.
Right. She's local.
Really nice. I really loved her when she was on there. And she left ESPN because she was saying that she didn't have her freedom of speech was impaired there. Right. And then I find out that she's a megahead.
Just now hitting your desk today?
I didn't know it. I did not know it. I was so disappointed in seeing that. So
There's a lot to that story. And I'll say that Sage has her spin on it, but there's a ton more facts going on. I have an issue with the way that ESPN let a lot of my favorite people go. Not in that case.
Not in that case.
Not in that case.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
Yes.
cool. Freddie, you got something to say today, man?
Election day. Most of us, if you haven't voted by now, it's probably too damn
yeah, because they're gonna see this Friday.
Yeah, we doing this show and you ain't voting.
Freddie think he on TV right now.
It's probably too late. So,
we'll get together next week and see what's what. We should have a lot to talk about. Maybe have a guest or two, depending on what those results are that Freddie was talking about. Until then, like I said, college basketball has started. NFL is in full swing. Some good stuff happening with college football. There's no reason you can't find some good sports to watch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.